Chapter 50, Emma. Did you know this would happen? Emma hissed at Joe in the darkness. Did you know they'd shut off the electricity to shut up Mom? No, Joe protested. I thought. Finn, Chess called, reaching out. His hand brushed Emma's arm just as Finn shoved past them both toward the door to the stage. We've got to get Mom before the guards do, Finn called back over his shoulder. Usually Emma's brain worked as fast as as Finn could move, but now she wanted an extra moment to think, an instant to figure out the consequences of every action. Behind her, the crowd went from shocked silence to a loud buzz. Did they believe Mom? Whose side were they on now? Emma couldn't tell. She couldn't make out any individual words, just a deafening roar of more anger? More fear? Finn's right. We can use the darkness, Natalie called. It helps us. In the next instant, some kind of emergency backup lights switched on. They were so minimal, they only cast shadows. They seemed to emphasize the darkness rather than fighting it. But now Emma could make out the dim shape of her little brother beyond the door, halfway up the towering stairs to the stage. Wow, Finn, going for it. He looked so small, so defenseless, and that made Emma forget everything else. Logic, Joe's plan, the crowd. Finn, wait for me! Emma called after him. She pushed her way through the door, letting go of any worry about security systems or alarms. Wouldn't a security system need electricity too, she told herself? Or is there a backup generator for that also? She didn't touch the doorknob, and no alarm sounded, so it didn't matter. She took the stairs two at a time. She didn't look back, but she thought maybe Chess, Natalie, and Joe followed. She caught up to Finn right at the edge of the stage and pulled his head down beside hers. At least look before we climb on up, she whispered in his ear. Together they peeked over the rim of the stage. The dark shape of someone in a long robe stood over Mom behind the wall of her witness stand. It was Judge Morales. Never. Hello? Mom said doubtfully, probably speaking into the microphone. Give up, Judge Morales sneered. Can't you tell all the mics are off now? And there's practically a soundproof wall between you and the crowd. No one could hear you, even if they were all shouting. Emma realized the crowd noise seemed dimmer now, more distant. Maybe she could only hear it at all because they'd left the door open. Mom stammered. A cluster of guards rushed up beside Judge Morales. You want us to guard the prisoner? The man in the lead asked. Search her? Punish her? There'll be time for that later, the judge snapped. She's not going anywhere. We can look for her accomplices later, too. The priority has to be subduing the crowd. This is a Protocol 602 situation. All of you, go. She led the guards to the other side of the stage, past the large wooden structures of the judge's podium and the empty jury box. Now Mom was alone. And again, Finn was a step ahead of Emma, scrambling up over the edge of the stage and scurrying toward Mom. Emma wanted to scream as she took off after him. Mom, we're here. She wanted to yell, we love you, and aren't you proud of us for finding you? And oh, Mom, I thought we'd never see you again. This is the happiest moment of my life. But she pressed her lips together and held it all in because they are still running through darkness, and Judge Morales and the guards were just on the other side of the podium and jury box, and the whole angry crowd was just on the other side of the wall. And Mom wasn't free yet. Still, as Emma caught up with Finn, she threw caution to the wind and launched herself around the wall of the witness box and into Mom's lap. Finn did too. The two of them tumbled together into Mom's arms. We're saving you, Emma whispered, just as Finn sighed happily. Oh, Mom! And then Mom gasped and began laughing and crying all at once and alternately holding her hands over her mouth and holding Emma and Finn. My Emma? She whispered in disbelief. My Finn? And Emma understood why Mom might be confused in the near total darkness when she thought her three kids were still safely back in the other world and only the Gustano children had been brought into this one. Mom began running her hands over their faces as though she could identify them solely by touch. Yours, Emma assured her, all yours. It wasn't fair that she couldn't see Mom's face in the shadowy darkness. She wanted that so badly, not just to see Mom, but to see Mom seeing her. At least Emma could snuggle close. She could hold on tight. Mom, Chess whispered beside her, moving down to the side of Mom's chair. Dimly, Emma saw that Natalie and Joe had arrived with him, and Joe was already bending low, diving toward the shackles that trapped Mom in her chair. You're all here? Mom said numbly, reaching for chest too. But we figured out your codes, Finn bragged. Well, some of them. I'm the one who found the butterflies in your websites. What? I never thought you'd see that until later, Mom whispered. Years later, if ever. It was really meant for other. Probably better not to talk much right now, Joe muttered. He seemed to be lying on the floor beside the witness box, his arms outstretched. Emma was pretty sure he had a screwdriver out to pry off the shackles, but she couldn't actually see it in the darkness. Joe? Mom whispered, looking around. She let out a strangled cry, and her voice turned strangely bitter. Funny how I know your voice so well, though I've never seen your face. You brought my children here? Into danger? How dare. I found them here, Kate, Joe corrected. They were a step ahead of me, and they even taped over the doorway to the tunnel to try and guard it. Emma thought that should make her feel proud, or proud of Natalie anyway, but it didn't. There was something wrong with how Mom and Joe were talking, almost as if they were still using code. Mom buried her face in her hand. I'm sorry, she whispered. I've made a mess of things. But you came, and now you're all here, and we've got Natalie too, Finn interrupted. Emma put her hand over his mouth, because if it really was a mistake to talk about codes right now, it would be a really bad idea to talk about Natalie being their secret weapon. Finn pushed back at her. No, he was falling toward her because the platform beneath Mom's chair gave a little jerk. Something's happening. Natalie hissed from the other side of the witness box. Everybody down! Okay, we're going to keep going.